Welcome to the Daybreak.
And it is on bottom left of the map in the red. We have our StarTale player. Curious was able to win, to advance to the next round. Will his teammate be able to do the same? This is
StarTale Patin.
Very solid Pro-Toss player, very unpredictable, makes him very difficult to play against.
And starting to the top right is his opponent. Starting for Team MVP in blue, the Terran player called
MVP SC.
He's rocking the new MVP shirt, showing their new Hot 6 sponsor. Wearing blue, which is his color in game as well. Very appropriate.
And going for an early gas here.
Yeah, gas first against Protoss. And a lot of players will do strategies like this against Parting because they know that on a map where the third base is relatively easy to take as a Protoss, Parting may just riskily do such a thing. So SC wants to put some fast pressure on here. I would not be surprised if we see, for example, Reactor, Hellion, Marauder as a build of choice. That's something we may see. We may see Cloak Banshees as well very quickly.
There are quite a lot of options that he has. He can go for Cloak Banshees, he can go for Medivac, Marine, and of course the Hellions in order to do a little bit of pressure at the front, but then just drop into the main base. We'll find that out soon enough, especially what we are curious about is now, of course, if he's going to take a second refinery or not, if he wants to get this extra gas for Cloak, and how Parting is going to approach the matchup. Close for repairs.
Yeah, close for repairs due to some recent meteor showers. So this could become a problem if there's more meteors coming from that local asteroid belt. Sometimes the gravity can change based on the binary star system near Daybreak. It kind of shifts things, and when the asteroids come through, meteor showers can occur, and if meteors start landing on your stalkers, it does some decent AoE damage, so you gotta be careful about that.
That is the most sophisticated line of BS that I've ever heard in my entire life. That was beautiful. Thank you very much for that.
You're very welcome.
Did you prepare for that, or did you just come out of it?
I just came up with it right now.
That's impressive.
I want to make sure that if the meteors start coming down, he can blink his stalkers against those. He's going to want to research blink before charge here.
He might need the umbrella upgrade.
Yeah, and you know, sensor towers can spot meteors coming from far away. This may give SC enough time to make the bunkers necessary to save his Marines because they can't blink. And we see the reactor actually going up for the factory. I really think we're going to see Marauder Hellion here.
And he's walling off at the front, so he has a Marine ready, and he will make sure that Parting is not able to get into the base. Parting, of course, started with a one gateway into expand. He's currently building his first few stalkers and researching the upgrade. But with this, he needs some scouting. He definitely needs the robotics now in order to get the observer out, in order to be able to defend here. But will most likely start 2 additional gates first, just to have enough units in case there is some early aggression of his opponent.
What's really cool about this for SC is that, yeah, this is risky, but he must have studied Parting recently and known that Parting does not go for a normal fast scout. Because with the triple pylon wall, or depot wall, he would have absolutely been able to see everything with the probe if he went for a normal scout time, but he's late here, and this really allows SC to be able to be sneaky here. And he is going for a starport. It's not going to be Marauder Hellion.
No, it's what we talked about earlier. It's the drop with the Medivac. He didn't take the second gas, so Banshees at this point, at least with Cloak out of the question, the Medivac just been started.
Yeah.
It's these builds that we've seen in the recent past come to just pop up once again. It's actually a build, I think one of the first players that used this like ages ago. I think it was actually, didn't TLO play this for quite a long time, this style? That was like more than a year ago.
He oftentimes did this with Marines and Hellions together as well. And
poking at the front with the Marines, dropping into the main base, that was really this style. I think that he was one of the first players, if not the first, to actually use it, but that was like an eternity ago.
Well, now it's been kind of optimized a little bit. Players like the best from EpicSo use this build really often. I've seen Keen do it before as well. This is quite a popular build right now, and this can do a ton of damage. But if the Protoss is in position, it kind of puts you in an awkward position as a Terran because your command center is late, and if you don't do any damage with this, you are severely hurting.
He's currently getting, of course, the set command center, and let's see how much damage SC is able to do.
He's going to try to draw the units into the main and then use the Hellions at the natural, but they've been spotted.
The most unlucky probe in the entire universe. Here comes the drop into the main base. He's not going for Marines at all, by the way. He's only going for Hellions here. And oh my god, the Stalker's out of position up here at the top. And he's losing quite a lot of units at the natural fighting as well.
He's losing so much, and this is exactly what he needs. Already 9 probes are dead. Nice block with the pylon there, and actually, he's barely going to get these probes out. They're a little bit stuck.
The mining
so close.
The mining time is one of the big problems that he has, and he lost a fair amount of them.
The Hellions are going back home for some reason. They could have done so much for him here.
Another hit hits home, but still double barracks now coming up. He's going for the expansion. The harvester count at this point in time is 24 to 28 in favor of the Terran player. So this is a pretty cool position for him to be in. He doesn't have the second orbital though, but the Banshee follow-up is already on its way. And he might just drop again.
I don't think he's going to go for Cloak, but yeah, he is going to do a second drop. That's why he sent the Hellions back, but the opponent is prepared. Parting's got 3 Stalkers to the right side. He's got units to block at the natural as well. I'm a little bit surprised, though, he doesn't have any Stalkers there, because, yeah, he can block the main, but that's kind of redundant with the Stalkers already in the mineral line. Back at home, though, he's got Stim. He's been researching that for quite some time, and it's almost done. So the follow-ups here for SC are going to be quite good, and Parting is going to now have to be on the defensive, and a great choice to go for Robotics Bay here. I think that's kind of his only choice right now.
SC playing very well so far. He started with the second drop, but he was spotted and moved back. He can, of course, also combine this with the Banshee if he is able to force the units to the low ground with the Banshee and then starts to drop in the main base once again, or vice versa. This would help him quite a bit. And he killed a fair amount of harvesters earlier on, 11 in total, and if he can do this again and pull it off, then he would be so far ahead in this game. Right now he's looking at a very good economy, and he's trying to apply pressure once more. Here we go.
Here it comes, 3 Hellions in this medevac, one of them already damaged. The pylon not quite able to block, and he doesn't have enough DPS to kill the medevac. So they will actually be able to get in the main, but that's where the 3 Stalkers I mentioned earlier are waiting and ready. Parting's going to start his first Colossus now as the Bay finishes, and this can no longer do damage. He's not going to be able to do much more with this. And even the Banshee that he made is not going to be useful with this many Stalkers out, and with how he split them, there's no Cloak for the Banshee, so he's going to be actually fine. He's not going to lose any more workers this game. The bigger concern now becomes the engagement that's going to follow. How many gateways will Parting take here? Will he actually try to hold the third base against his opponent's composition that's going to involve siege tanks? He knows that Stim is already done. He saw with his observer the tech lab spinning.
At this point, he's not taking a third just yet, and there will be a lot of aggression of his opponent. We don't even have a Banshee that was moved towards the bottom left, so at this point, he's just going for this 2-base timing. We have him with all these units. Of course, the Observer trying to scout it, but with SC's Raven in the mix, that already indicates a lot of potential for aggression with the point defense drone. He wasn't able to scout too much. The Raven detected, of course, the Cloaked Observer, and then he was forced back. I think we have another... At the bottom left, what do we have here?
It's just that drop.
No, over here. Is it the Banshee?
Yeah.
Yes, the Banshee is trying to get into position now. And the drop, as said, at bottom left is still able to do some damage. Here comes the Banshee, getting a few kills. Of course, the Zealots have to react immediately. And this is when the drop can shine once again.
Here it comes. Oh, nice. He knows about it. He knows what's going on. He will not fall for it. But the Hellions, they still land. The Colossus denies them. And great multitasking here by Parting. No question that he was absolutely prepared for the eventuality of the drop coming to the left. Now, we're going to have a funny game here because I think SC wants to take a third as much as Parting does, but neither player feels comfortable because they know they have very aggressive armies to deal with, and the second that third base is spotted, they're going to face a strong attack. So they're playing this a little bit 2010. Neither of them comfortable to take that fourth or third base. And we're already at the 12-minute mark. The Banshee is going to go check for the Nexus. He already killed a Zealot, and he's going to find a probe over here, which means he may think, okay, you're considering taking that third now. Maybe I should start moving out.
Well, we have no orbital command on the high ground, and this is something that SC could, for example, do. He has a fair amount of harvesters, but not too many. The army supply for him is really great, though. And he can move out and try to apply pressure. Of course, he would love Parting to take a third, which opens up another attack pattern for him. But at this point, both of them just sitting tight, and Parting wants to get additional attack. He has the Colossi, therefore a means of dealing area effect damage to the bio army of his opponent. But if he gets Cloaked as well, Charge already being researched, that would help him so much. But SC, I don't think SC will give it. Well, actually, SC is walling now with his.
He's making medevacs. He's not going to make any more Banshees. He's making depots here, and you know it's a great tactic because he no longer needs the bunkers, but he knows, okay, he can never attack me if I have this wall. And he's got so many siege tanks. He's actually continuing to make them. Most players will make 4, maybe 5. 5's like a little bit crazy, but in this case, he's gone to the insanity level of making 6. And if he starts a 7th one, man, I might freak out a little bit. No 7th siege tank, sticking with the 6, and he's moving out here. Charge is going to be done by the time this attack hits. He's going to have a few Templar out. And did he actually finish Storm? I don't think so.
No, he didn't.
I don't think he even started yet, no.
Well, yes, the army. You have 3 Colossi. The Viking count. Oh, dropping at the natural again. But this time we have the feedback just in time to take down the Medivac. 1 Hellion survives. That's all there's to it. 2 Vikings. Not too much anti-air. He needs to rely on the siege tanks now. Nice scan here. Revealing, of course, the fleeing Stalker. And he has to get into a good position with the siege tanks now if he wants to break through.
Parting's trying to take a third, which is like a death wish at this point, considering how ahead SC is in army. And he knows it, too. It's not a secret to him. He knows not only the army, but he knows the composition. SC giving away some units here, but here's the siege up, and this is the big problem. He does not have Storm yet. He cannot buy time, and the tanks are just going to slowly inch forward. He's not even attacking the third base location. He knows that Nexus is not even being mined from right now, and oh, a terrible moment to move forward. Very unlucky.
Yeah, very unlucky indeed. The scan was available, and he used it immediately, so the vision on the high ground was granted. SC with a few free shots at his opponent's army. And Parting still with his third base, and Storm will soon be ready. So if he can buy a little bit more time, he might actually also be able to just use the high ground to his advantage and use it for another Storm onto his opponent's army. Very dangerous here for SC. Parting as well, of course. He's pressed here, and here comes the attack. Storm is done.
Storm is done. He's got charge as well. The Zealots right now are at 1-1. The Bioforces do not have +1 army, and it's about to finish, but the tanks are doing so much extra damage, he has to retreat. The Colossi now with very low support, and a nice dodge on those Storms.
Really well done. Moving in and immediately defensively use Storms and Parting, missing them as SC moves back. Very well executed, and now Parting finds himself in a position where he can defend, but it's not going to be easy. The Storm spot on this time. These are Parting Storms. This is exactly what we are used to from this player, but he's still dropping in supply a lot faster than SC. The Terran player moving forward, trying to bring his siege tanks into a better position.
He needs to lift up and get out here, though. There's too many Zealots. He can't hold the next attack.
And well, there it comes, charging in. Army supply 36 to 54 in favor of SC, though the third phase is done, by the way. Another Colossi dies, and now all the party can rely on to are a few Stalkers, 6 in total, and 1 High Templar. He has a lot more probe supply. That's why the supply still looks even overall.
And SC is not going to stop the attack. He's going to the third now. He's got a few units together, rallying 1 Marine into the natural as well. This Nexus is not going to be able to hold on. He doesn't have units close enough. Even the siege tank adding some extra DPS here. And SC is bringing some SCVs now. He knows he's a little bit in trouble if he doesn't actually make this work.
He's pulling more SCVs that he already did, and with the army supply that he has, he finds himself into a good position to end this game. 67 to 50 army supply. Additional tanks are coming in. He still has Vikings available. Parting tries to move out, tries to force it back. Storms are so important now. Those High Templars don't have enough energy just yet. They still have to wait a little bit longer as Parting tries to get his third base again.
The Viking control is insane. He has every other unit selected, so even when he kites against the Zealots and the Archons, the Vikings are still doing their damage. The Colossi taking so many hits without actually firing. And, you know, this is just a great position for SC. The more Parting walks into these siege tank shots, the more damage he takes. SCV is leading the charge. He wants to tank some of that Archon damage. He's trying to bait him here.
He's also on a clock, though, with the third base once again being halfway done. He can start mining very soon. SC needs to do the damage now. He pulls so many of his SCVs, and there is one Colossus. He warps in additional units, takes a few shots every now and then, but this is not easy for SC at all. And then suddenly Parting is ahead in overall supply, which means he's closing the gap in army supply.
Yeah, he really is, and even though damage is being done, there are shields here. He goes, Zealots charging in. The Vikings come to try to take out the Colossus. The Storms are good, and Parting has finally done it. He pushes SC back here. He's going to get himself together just one more time. He needs one more round of Zealots, and he should be able to hold this third base.
There are no ghosts for SC. He doesn't have EMPs or snipe against his opponent's High Templar. He tries to snipe the third again, but this time Party wants to defend it. He's moving onto the low ground. He has the army supply now. It's ahead in overall supply as well, because SC used all these SCVs with the army. He has a huge problem with his income.
Yeah, he cannot retreat even. The Stalkers are closing the gap. He doesn't really have anywhere to run. A Storm from the other side, and that's just going to be too much. SC will lose the last of his Marauders. GG!
SC calls it a day.